thank you so much for coming tonight. It's after hours, so we really appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our presenter. This is Kevin Oster with the Small Business Development Center. He's going to be talking about, mastering the art of pitching. So a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are already in the beginning stages or thinking about starting a business. And in order to get funding for that, you kind of have to know how to pitch your idea. So Kevin is going to be giving us some key strategies and tips and tricks on just how to do that. So without further ado, Kevin, please come up. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Well, my name is Kevin, and I'm from the Small Business Centers. We're in partnership today with Beachworx and Brandon, where you went, and Julie, which you saw, for having us today. It means a lot. So, let's tell you a little bit about who I am. I was born in Oregon, then Tennessee. I lived in Tennessee, got married, had a couple of kids. Worked UPS for many decades, and then I bought a KOA. I bought a KOA, but I don't say I. So I bought a KOA campground in Montana, ran it for 6 years almost, and then here we are in retirement, which I didn't do well at because I like to work. So I guess it's just it. So that's a little bit about me. The SBDC now is a no-cost to you organization that is funded by the Small Business Florida and the Department of Defense. So we do all things business. If you need a business plan, if you're looking for property, if you're looking to sell or get evaluation, do some projections. Hey, we're your guys. So there's about 250 of us communities across the state in 9 districts. This district, this region is run by the University of West Florida, and the University of West Florida administers our grant funds, and they also train us to make sure that we're all certified and that we're background checked. We all have FBI level 2. So here I am today to talk to you about elevator speeches and pitches and how to do them and how to make your business grow. And maybe if we have time, I might talk a little bit about funding your business. So let's start where you need to start. That's who you are. So the first thing you need to do in an elevator speech is what I just did, to identify yourself. So who you are, and then the next thing is tell a little bit about yourself, about your business. So it doesn't have to be in depth. You have a goal. And I'm looking at the clock over there because it doesn't have a second hand. But if you're going to need a clock, when you can watch. If you have an old school watch, they have those, and if you have your new ones, then they can have a timer on. 30 seconds to 1 minute. That's your goal. Is 30 seconds. You can go up to 1 minute. And Beachworx has supplied a terrific mirror. That's what you're going to need to. Go into your bathroom or go into your living room. You have a mirror, and you're going to practice in front of you. Do your speech, do your spiel, and you're going to watch your clock, and you're going to practice before you go out in public. So that's what you want to do. Is you want to become your own expert in your own way. So the first thing to do when you're talking to yourself in the mirror, which I hope I'm not the only one that does that. So when you're talking to yourself in the mirror, say, I'm Kevin, I'm with SBDC. And poof, you know what you do for SBDC. You're what you do for your business. And if you're looking for a job, that's the same thing. Hey, I'm looking for a job. Here's what I'm good at. Here's what I have a background in. If it's accounting, by the way, I was never really good at accounting, which is why I always recommend you go to a CPA. So, okay. So you want to make sure that you polish your speech. You want it to come out so that anyone see it and it reflects who you are. So you got to take all of this information that you have, and you're going to compress it down and make it work. Now, there's a book called Smart Brevity. a book to read or listen to a book while you're driving. It's a great book. It's talking about how to get the right words. Come on in. Hey, glad you're here. How do you the traffic is awful. It's cold. Yeah. Smart, get the right words. Another book I'm going to make a recommendation. It's smart.
My brother gave me that book, by the way.
You have
Told me I talk way too much.
You know, I've been told that. I've been told that. I expect I'll be told that again today. So I need to read that book. So, there's another book that I'd like to recommend to you today. That's The Pyramid of Success by John Wooden. So John Wooden he's one of my heroes. He's gone. He's passed on. But he taught great players, one of which just passed last week, Bill Walton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So he's about like my sisters. All my sisters are small. So my sisters all coming down the bubba. John wasn't very tall, but he loved basketball, and he's a Purdue grad. Wanted to play ball, so he got on the team, but it wasn't very natural to play. He loved the bench. Until several players got injured in the playoff games, and they put him in, and he performed in the one championship. And then he wanted to coach, but Purdue wouldn't have anything to do with it. They said, "No, we don't want you. You're not the right guy." And they pushed him out, and he went to UCLA. He had back to back 10 championships in a row, national championships. His book, Pyramid of Success, which is a faith-based book, but it talks about the power of words and the weight of words in a pyramid and the things that you need to do as not only just sports, to be successful in sports, but to be successful in business and in life. The foundations, one of those of which is industriousness, to work hard. Hard work always pays off. And I'm going to swing that all back around, say, you got to work hard on your elevator speech. So it doesn't just come, it isn't just osmosis. You can't just pull your book out. You've got to work hard in the mirror by yourself before you go out. So once you have done that and introduced yourself to yourself, and then you ready to introduce yourself to the people you meet, and you're going to say, hey, who am I? What is it that I bring of value? And then you're going to talk about what do I want from you and a call to action. So let's go to, you already know a little bit about me, not a lot. You know a little bit. So I'll give you another thing. Let's say what's got to say what right over here. I'm going to rename her Lonesome because I don't have time to run over her anymore. But she sits over there lonesome, sits by herself. You want to work in what's important, so your skills. So when I was young, a long time ago, I had a lot of skills. My dad taught me how to work with my hands. I was good at school. So you want to bring some of those things about you that you're really good at. So work those in. So you're going to talk a little bit and brag about yourself. You know, I helped build houses. I ran he's an electrician, millwright, helped him run wires. I learned from him. There's a lot of things that I can do because he taught me the right things. He put me with the right tools. So tonight we're talking about the right tool to use to get your speech out. So we talked about, prepping, practice. When I repeat something, it's because it's important. You cannot not put effort into anything that you do, especially in your businesses or your lives. You need to put extra effort into it. The guy that I forgot his name that founded Pop-Tarts, you see the Pop-Tarts, right? You want to get, here's this quote, if you want to get noticed, do more than is expected. So that's it. I'll think this name a little bit. Sometimes gray cells split. But I remember that quote, and that's what's important. So if you want to get noticed, do more than what is expected. And you'll always get noticed that way. All right. So you're working in your skills, and you're working that in your speech. And then you're going to tell them what you want. So if you're looking for a job, you're going to say, hey, I want to be hired. So you just tell them, I want you to hire me because I'm enthusiastic, I'm equipped, I'm skilled, and I'm a good speaker. And then you're going to say, hey, can we set up your call to action? Now, if you're in business, you're going to say, hey, like, let's go to SBDC. We write business plans all day long. We do projections. We do somebody to help you find your lender. We help you find the low interest rates. We equip you with, hey, these tools and demographics, all these great things from University of Florida. Why don't you grab one of my cards when you leave and give me an email with one of the great consultants that we have, and we'll equip you to go to the next level of business. That's what we'll do for you. So I'm asking you, hey, here's another clue. Here's another thing. I'm going to shift gears out of your speech to when you're, or really even in your speech. If you're saying, hey, I need a review. So if you're on Google, you have this presence on Google, you have this web page. We always say Jennifer is a consultant, which I should introduce Jennifer Rojas over here.
Hello, everyone.
So she is part of the organization that we both work for at SBDC, and she is a top-notch consultant. When we talk about, hey, if you come in and you want consulting from us, you need some help. So you come in and you just want to learn something. First thing I tell you is, hey, you need to fill out your request for consulting, and then you're going to get a survey. We're 5 stars. We work hard. We work harder than anybody else in the state. We expect 5 stars. But if I'm not giving you 5-star stuff, tell me, because I'll change. I'll work towards whatever it is. Just stop me and tell me. So I'm asking you, hey, right up front, if you're doing your speech, I'm asking you for what I want. Because that is key, getting what you want. People can't read your mind. All right, so let's go over a little bit. I don't want to go too long, but looks like I'm doing okay. So let's go over a little bit, practice. And then you want to state who you are, what you do, what your equipment, your education, your tools, your experiences. And it all has to be in 30 seconds, and then you're going to ask them for what you want. So you're right up front. You slip it right in. And then when you're done with your speech, you got your 30 seconds. Here's another thing that most people miss. And it's not in most of the books that I've read. So you need to listen. So the person you're talking to, it's their turn. Yes, it's their turn. Does anybody have any questions so far? 7-second pause. That's what you want. When you're talking to somebody, 7. So you give them a chance to comprehend what you said, which is what I just did. So pretty close. That's what we want to do. 7 seconds and listen to the people. And then we want to engage them. So you want to say, tell me about yourself. What do you do? Because you're not going to get what you want if you can't give that opportunity out. So it's just missed so many times. If you're doing your elevator speech, what you really want, isn't it to make connections, to get business, to get hired, to get what you want? You got to ask, and you got to give the other people the opportunity to get. So one of the things, here's some things that look over Jennifer. What?
I don't think I'll be.
I'm going to pick on you. Is that okay? So, can you would you be able to give me an elevator speech about SBDC?
I will do my best. As unprepared as I am right now.
Which is what happens in real life. It's what happens in real life.
But it's kind of hard to follow up with that because he's already had an opportunity to tell you a little bit about what we do at the SBDC. But as he said before, my name is Jennifer Rojas. I work for the SBDC. We provide no-cost consulting. See, that's what my So one of the things that this is I actually I'm not prepared for, but prepared because I gain confidence through practice. So the more I get in front of people, the more I say the same spiel over and over. And I'm still pretty new to the SBDC, so I don't get a lot of opportunities to practice my spiel. So I have to do it in the car on the way here, or so I've been trying not to practice because I had a feeling this was coming today. But yeah, so practice makes perfect. And the more confident you are, and if you were like me, you get confidence through competency, right? The more you do it, the easier it is.
Sure.
And then
An observation is, I think, the most important thing is to be genuine, like you just were, and because it makes other people feel comfortable. I truly feel that in my networking. So if you don't feel comfortable, like, oh, I messed that up, then they'll laugh and they don't think you're perfect.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. You always make it feel welcome.
Thank you very much. That's where I was going next, actually. So, and I'm so glad you brought up to be relaxed, which I hope I am tonight, right? So if not, there's some wine over here. So maybe help myself a little bit. When you're doing your speech, it's very important to be relaxed. Good point. The second, and be yourself. Now you just have to, and allow yourself to make mistakes. It's okay. Not everybody starts off perfect. I surely didn't. So be yourself, be relaxed, and have a stance where you have one foot slightly ahead of the other. You're looking at them in the eye, which is really hard when you're 6'4" to look somebody in the eye. It's like, but you want to look at them straight in the eye, and you want to be sincere. And it just needs to flow out of you. If you practice, it will. It'll just come out. The more you study, the more you learn, the more it just comes out. The better you are in business. I remember my first day in business. When I had the KOA, and the first was another business. First day at the KOA, I've had a lot of businesses, but the KOA, it's like I had no idea what I was doing. The owner left the keys after he signed the papers early. They were just, wad on the table. I didn't know where any of these 100 keys went. I walk in there, and there was a mess. So was I a nervous wreck? Yeah. But, you can only do so much. So you just have fun. So you want to have your stance right. You want to look them in the eye. You want to engage them. And you want to. I always have a business card. I want to talk about networking because usually you'll do your spiel in a networking situation. So when you do your spiel, you do your elevator speech, your 30 seconds. I have a card. So if I'm doing a Chamber of Commerce event, I actually walk into the Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to give you another book, a thing I learned out. So I always walk in with 2 cards. So I have 1, 2 cards. When I walk into a chamber event, like was Friday breakfast at the Fort Walton Chamber. So the first card goes into the giveaway, which I've taught Jennifer this, goes into the door prize box, right? So you drop that in the door prize box, which, by the way, she learned and has won 3 door prizes. She's been with 3 things and won a door prize every one. I think she's she won't come up. All right, so another little tip. Then the second one. So I have 1 card in my hand. I go up to 1 person. The first person who gives me eye contact and say, I am Kevin Oster. Here's my card. I'm great. When I first started, I'm brand new at SBDC. And I have no idea. Here's what we do, but I have to learn more. So, we help people with businesses to grow them, to write their business plans, to hook them up with leaders, capitalize them. We just do so much for those small businesses and we help them grow. And I'm an expert in a lot of fields. So I have my own business. I know what to go through. Expert in marketing right here. So if you need me, all you got to do is send me an email. Why don't you do that before you leave? So, all right. And then tell me about yourself. What's your name? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, really?
What's your name?
It was Erica Riley. Hi. I'm from a nice little area, and I am going to school for to be an esthetician.
Really?
Yes.
So will you have your own shop?
I will have my own shop.
You want to come see me?
Yes.
So-
Well, you need to come see me.
Wait a minute. What's it mean? No, I guess I need to. Okay. Well, and that's great. I would love to. Thank you so much for helping me. And then the rest of the time when I'm in a networking event, I would just say, "Have you kids?
Yes.
I'm married. great. See, look, she's got a daughter. She's a great person. So he's like, perfect. So I would just engage with them and learn as much as I can about each person. Stephen, I'd love to learn about you. There's so much stuff that's going on in people's lives. And you bring it out. That's some of the people I've bumped into. One guy, I'll tell you this story. One of my networking events, it was this big guy, this great big burly guy, didn't have much of a neck. And, and he walked up behind me. And, you kind of see him out of the corner of your eye. And, this guy had a presence. And I could tell he had, one of these shirts, which I don't have one of these shirts, but it's a polo. I don't have one of these on tonight. It had some monogram or something on it. It looked like, you know how they look. You've seen it. Well, maybe you haven't. I've seen them. And they pull you over. They've got the little star or whatever that's kind of in order. It is, it's been around for a while. And so I got talking to him, and he thought, I asked him where I was born. Asked about military. I said, no, not military, but Dad was. He's Navy Air Force, World War II. Oh, that was just, but I'm keeping the eye contact. I couldn't really look at his, name or anything. And he's a Navy. He used to be a general. Now he's a state senator. So, but I didn't know that. I gave him my card. He asked for a card. I gave it to him, but I never did look at his shirt until later on when I was in some hospice. Because what's important is to engage with the person. It really doesn't matter who they are. When you go out the first time and do your spiel, it doesn't matter who you talk to. You can talk to a secretary, you could talk to a server, or you could talk to a president or CEO. And there's some really powerful people that you'll bump into. But don't focus on that. Focus on your spiel and learning about them. And then all of the pressure will go away. All right. Yes.
I have two questions.
Two?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay. So it also, maybe we want to take in consideration the cultural part of it, because when I am networking, I never ask her to marry, because that might give a lead for you to think that I'm hitting on you or that I'm interested in you knowing they fit. You know what I'm saying?
Point.
And that has happened to me. And number two, what about the handshake?
Oh, another great thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Talk
okay.
to me a little bit about the handshake when you get a chance.
No, I'd love to. Let's address those both right now.
Okay.
So first, that's a really good point. And when I said that, that thought went through my mind after I said it, like the thoughts. But I do ask, hey, are you married? Because usually I talk about my Jeanette first. So I've been married for a while. Yeah, 25 years. And Jeanette, and she would kill me if she thought I said it would be it for me. She's teacher of the year for Holly Park Intermediate School. Like I'm so proud of her, and she's helped me so much. I want to talk about her for a second, just to alleviate that question, and then I'm going to address it a little bit more. She's a third grade teacher, and I met her when through a mutual friend. Didn't always have the best luck setting me up. But Jeanette was a third grade teacher. I knew immediately she was the right person for me. Here's how I knew, because she speaks third grade language. Should help that way. Let's go sit down. you need to bring it down a level. That's what she would tell me. And she's the perfect person for me. I knew right away. So I love Jeanette. So put you at ease. I wasn't hitting on you, just so you know. But I do want you to know that is I do want you to understand when you're talking with somebody, occasionally there is a cultural thing that goes on, and you need to be aware. Oh, and here's the great thing. So I watched your face when I said that, and then I realized, it might be a little awkward, especially if I'm not. But I do, if I picked up on something where you felt uncomfortable, I would have addressed it immediately. And that's what you need to be, is aware. So you need to be aware, because not everybody's perfect. So, and not everybody, because of the cultural thing, takes things the way you need. They might read something into it. So a good observation. So how I handle that? Yeah, that's who I am. I want to know, hey, I've got a son, okay. So it's not married. So I'm always looking for him. Is it done any good? No. But that's what it is. So you look for the source of cues. And again, you've got to be relaxed and you've got to be open to being wrong. So All right, now let's talk about pension. So since COVID-19, we all talk about that. So COVID-19, Steve and I talk a little bit about that. The world's changed. Some people, when I reach out to shake their hand, because I do, they kind of feel they're pissed out. Or some people don't even want you to touch them now. So how do you deal with that? Well, I'm old school. I still shake hands. So I put my hand up now. Maybe I should tell you a story. Watching time, I get a witness. Miss Cora. Miss Cora was a beautiful 83-year-old that I went to church with. She always wore pretty much blue dress every Sunday. She had pearls when her neck, big, long, grand pearls. And I always shook her hand. And she's been gone for like 2 weeks. And I shook her hand. She's so frail. You could just see the blood rush out of. She looked bad. I helped her sit down. She was gone for another 2 weeks. And I said, "What's wrong with Miss Cora?" She broke her hand. She was just frail. So when you talk about shaking hands, I tell you that, I mean, I still feel bad about it. But you have to be gentle, especially for older people, because you can hurt them. So, and I did that. So I did that to Miss Cora. She forgave me. She was great. Very, very nice Southern woman, but shaking hands, it needs to be a firm handshake if you can, but you judge each person. It's all individual people. Yeah, I'm not just like, oh my gosh, how could I have done that? It's like when I found out, I felt so bad. Yeah. So, poor thing.
She didn't say anything to you, like, hey.
She did not. She did not say things. She had osteoporosis. Her bones were just brittle.
Oh,
So, I mean, it didn't take hard. I didn't squeeze hard. I promise you, I did not. You know, I didn't do one of those. You know, all I did was, even now, when I see somebody that's in their 70s and 80s, and shake their hand, I'll maybe couple down and just I do that a lot. But you know, I was 18, 19, it's about 19. No, and I'm strong, not like now. So yeah, that's a great question. So again, it's how you gauge that. You just have to look at the person, you know, shook their hand, right? So, but you kind of look, you kind of reach out, and you'll see if they reach towards you. You got to learn to read people, and a lot of it again here is taking your eyes off of yourself and putting them on the people so that you can truly engage with them. And you know, this comes out. I hope this is coming out as comfortable as it is for me and you guys online. You know, I hope you realize the sincerity that comes from my heart. These lessons were long, hard-earned lessons, and I'm sharing my lifetime experiences with, which is what I'm good at. But when I was younger, I was not good as a public speaker, so it wasn't a good effort. A lot of effort in classes. I had to take special classes to get through that because some things don't come naturally. You have to learn. But one thing is for sure is you don't come out of the womb born with all this information.
Would you recommend the Toastmasters to do?
I do. I love the Toastmasters. So I've been to a couple of their events, and it really puts you at ease. And if you're having trouble or you want to get better, that's a great place to go. What is that? Toastmasters is a group that they get up and you have to do speeches. So that's all they do. Get up, and they're constantly rotating around.
Pitches, right? So
Pitches. They do all sorts of stuff. It's not just pitches. They do little speeches about you know, things that give you the opportunity to get up in front of people, like I'm doing now. And if you want that, come on, I'm ready for you. Come on, I'll give you the floor to do an elevator. But it's a great place. I think they have a toast. Yes.
I wanted to share a tip. If anyone in the room is like me, I am not a natural networker. I've learned how,
What?
but it does not. I know people are always surprised of that. I was the chamber of commerce thing.
we're surprised that's not what
So one thing, I definitely need to work on my elevator speech without a doubt. But one thing that was shared with me to help me through it, if it helped anybody, is I reversed your order of things. Instead of starting with my elevator speech, I would approach somebody and ask them about them. And then they would ask about me, and it felt more natural and more comfortable. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but it definitely has helped me and helped me to go into places where I don't know anybody and have more courage. to speak to strangers?
Well, first, I love that. I love that out of the box thinking, because that is what makes you successful, not only as a person, but as a business person. So reversing the order, again, is what she said, and it's a great way to do it. Now, I wasn't going to go there, but I've got it now, because, we're talking about represented Manny. One of the things that I do, how many cards did I have in my network? 2, right? One went in the bucket to win something free, right? And then the other one I gave to one person, right? So then I don't have any cards in my hand. What am I doing now with networking? Is I'm doing exactly what you said. I'm going and I'm finding out, hey, what do you do? What do you do? Where did you go to school? Oh, I see you went to, hey, I work at UWF over here, right? It's like, hey, I'm making connections. And then here's a little tip. So I always have extra, usually extra cards right here in my wallet. So if you ask for a card, I'll get you one. So I'll get it out. It's an effort to give you these cards. So the first thing it does is they send you some money. It's a shotgun approach where you lay your cards out like I did tonight in a pile. Doesn't work nearly as well, I know this for a fact, as it does to reach for one and actually hand it to somebody that has to. All you have to do is make one connection once a day or once a month. And here's what happens is a girl to you and say, hey, who's that? What's his name? What's he doing? So all of your friends gather around. Hey, I didn't catch it. So it becomes like a mysterious, I only gave her one card, and the rest of the time I'm just kind of hanging there, go eat breakfast, maybe talk to a couple of people. If they ask me for a card, I'll give it to them. But I'm done. I've done my one thing. So we can just relax and enjoy the rest of it. So I wanted to say that's a great way. And I went from Destin brought 0 clients to SBDC when I came on board a year ago. And I don't know, probably 200-300 in 1 year. So how did I do it? Was one card, one event, one time, and then on demand. So, and I got it now. I'm going to shift gears. So I'm going to take a pause here. So here's the great thing: you are a tremendous networking expert, and you're alert. When I went to what called networking, what is the event? You remember?
Yeah.
All right. So all the seats, we had 3 tables. They lined up people along the line, 3 to 3. They were all full. 2 of them were full. There was no seats. And then where'd that leave me? On one table by myself. So that's okay. I've been by myself before. I've got 3 sisters. I remember. I'm sitting over there. All right. So I'm used to it. So I'm sitting over there. She comes and gets me and says, hey, come on. And they've made a place for me. They made everybody scoot over and scooted me in and made me part of the Fort Walton on the 30 time up to a network. I won't forget that because you were alert. You weren't afraid to approach me. Don't be afraid to approach people. You get out there and say, hey, you see somebody by themselves? Oh, there's a need. Go and share it. Good job. So I will always remember you and appreciate it. You did a good job.
Oh, wow.
And you do a good job. All right. So I think we kind of hit the networking part, and I'm supposed to go through several more things. So let me just touch on them. After you've got your spiel out in business, you're going to need a place like Beachworx is a great place to begin to have a professional looking place, or some people have the original family members that was giving money, the bank of mom and dad, that's what I call it. So they just say, hey, you want to start? Because I've got a friend that he did that for his son, bought him a franchise, Baskin Robbins. He's friends with his son. He's friends with me on Facebook because he and my son were in Scouts together. Where's he at? He's in Naples today. I looked at it where I left. He's in Naples, Italy, not Naples, Florida. So, he's doing really well. But if you don't have that bank of mom and dad, then look for ways to go. Remember, hard work always pays off. So you work hard. That's what I did. That's what I was taught. It pays off always. So look for ways. Pick up phone calls. I love trains. So trains, because my dad was a railroad engineer, actually blew that whistle, steam whistle, just like that. It's okay. I was like, hey, that reminded me of my dad. So right there, I used to pull that all day long. I never heard of SBDC when I was in college. It's because it didn't start until 1976. So you guys can do the math, because it wasn't around. It had got to go. All right. So you're going to need money, which means as you get on, you're going to have your steel polished, ready to go. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to reach out to the SBDC or your banker friends that you network with and be ready to talk to them about what you need and ask for what you need. You need a business plan. That's what we write. We'll help you with that. There's a couple kinds. Comprehensive is where you start, which is the whole shift match. You understand your business and then bring it to us, and I'll boil it down so that a banker will give you if there's 90% of businesses fail in the first year. So almost that now. It's a lot, but if you go to SBDC, that drops it significantly. So almost half of that. So we'll equip you. All right. And then, because I'm supposed to talk about financing, there's all sorts of ways to do it. There's alternative financing, your highest price financing. The SBA has micro loans, which aren't as expensive, but they're still pretty high. They'll loan you up to it's $50,000 with the average loan at $13,000. They'll get you some working capital. They have a lot of products like a 504 for buildings or 7A if you need working capital in the building. So there's lots of opportunities there. But your best thing is your local bank. So start with a local bank. Come to us. We'll get you equipped so you can take your loan package in and have a good, deep discussion with the banker. Now, they're not the guys that are going to walk you through how to start your business or the things to look out for. They're the guys that are going to say, hey, I'm going to take your money and give you a little bit and get you going. That's who they are. We're the guys that will say, hey, I don't know about this. Let's look at the numbers. And we always equip you with the numbers. So sounds like a great idea. I'm going to run some of our tools and say, hey, here's the actual demand from the people that live here that have money to spend. Is it going to work? And it will pull up your competition and say, oh, it's too much. You might want to think about another place. So Navarre has a little bit too many businesses in some areas, in some industries. But Freeport is growing leaps and bounds. Crestview is a good place. So you might need to adjust your business. All right. I'm running out of time. Does anybody have any other questions? Anybody from online, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Yes, sir.
I got one. Just out of curiosity, what's your average margin running a campground in Montana?
I can't tell you. It's 50%. So it's about a 50-40. The average industry is about 47. So somewhere in there. But there's a lot of risk with that. There's a lot of cost with that. And that information is now 7-8 years old. So I'd have to run our tools, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same. But the cost to get into the industry is exponentially high. It's over 3 times more than it was when I got out. So again, and here's something else, Welsh. I'm going to give you this. Your business is a lot like a baby. It's about 9 months to get it up, or maybe even 18 months before it can walk on its own. So it's going to take some time, another maybe 5 years before it's really going. So when we get to the 3-year part, we were rocking and rolling. We were doing well. And then after 2 years, you won't have to seek a banker. You get money. They'll be active. If you've been in business for 2 years or more, they're going to be knocking your door down. So they'll say, hey, how can we help you? Because they know after the 2 years, your survivability rate, you're past the incubation period and the failure period, and you're actually have a good chance of growing. If you have a good business plan like we did, the KOA franchise equipped us and taught us. And that's the first thing I'm going to give you. Second thing I'm going to give you is as you hit that 2-year mark, you've got cat coming in your business, or you're employed and you're pretty set after a couple of years, you're in your car or whatever. Do the things that you like to do in business. So I hate accounting. I mean, I wasn't a kid out of accounting in my background, but I don't like it. I didn't enjoy it. So hire a CPA to do this thing you don't like. So if you love numbers, you can do that. That's all good for you. And I'll give you another example. I'm good at a lot of things. I like to talk to people. I like to tell stories. I have lots of stories. Behind the front desk, where the counter, where you walk in and you take the money, I'm not very good at that. And I thought, but I've learned. We had Nicole, she came in from Callaway and she watched me. And she, about halfway through the second customer that came in, she kind of nudged over there and says, I got this. She kind of pushed me out of the way. And I go, what are you doing? Just a minute, I'll show you. And so when the customer came in, here's how I wrote, well, I can't pay the wrong way. So here's how they came in when she came in. She said, hey, do you have a reservation? And they'd say, no. Well, I think we have a spot. And she looked, and of course I knew we had spots. She said, would you like that? Here it is. Or would you like the deluxe site? We have a site that's really long and big and wide and has swings and all this. And okay. So she would sell the site and she'd sell it at full price. All right. When they came in with me, I'd say, hey, are you military, AARP? What are you? So I can give you a discount because I was looking to please them. And she was looking to make money from it. And it's like, oh, I missed that up somewhere. What was I thinking? Well, my profits went up right there, almost 7% in that first month. So I was given 10 and 15% discounts. And then she cleared those out of my computer so I couldn't get them anymore. Because, now here's the clue. Here's the key. It's because we were full every night. So if your business is at capacity, you don't need to get discounts. If you're trying to bring people in, well, a discount won't help, but target your discounts. Don't just give them away. Like your business cards, target them. So you bring in new people, not giving discounts to people who are already coming. Okay. Well, yes.
Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I have a question for you. Oh, you ready?
Ready.
So somebody in this room, not me, says, I want to start a business. I want to get connected with the SBDC and take advantage of your free counseling and such. What does that entail? Like, how many visits, how often do you meet with these folks who are just starting to build their dream and such? Like, what is the process?
Very interesting question. So the first process, thank you for asking that, is you can go to the SBA, because everybody can remember Small Business Administration. There's a link to SBDC sites. And then there's a link to a Florida SBDC site. And then it will give you a request for consulting. You fill that out. It's demographics. It's where you live. The SBA wants to know everything about who you are. They want to know everything. They want to know where you live. And then that's how they kind of follow and use their algorithms to see how that impacts the state you're in. So that information is so important. Data is so important to see where you're going. So you do a request for consulting. You can go to floridasbdc.org. That would be where you would start if you want to go direct and do a request for consulting. That's floridasbdc.org. And that'll get you in there. And then the question about, well, the complicated coaching. Well, as many as you want, as many as I can work in. I'm very busy. I'll just tell you right now, I'm looking at the middle of July to get you in. Now, we have other consultants that can get you locked away. And that's what we'll, so we got some big projects in the program, and it's just hard to get in. But we want to serve you, and we will. We can get you in almost right away within a week with a different consultant. And if you want to wait, you can wait and get you in. So that's how you get started, and you have unlimited. You can be our friend for however long you're in business. And we'll walk you through, we'll help you grow. We'll give you, we have growth plans, target marketing, and all these great things that we have experts that are even higher in the level of knowledge than I am in marketing, and they can data mine. And then we have the state level where we have one person up in the state, maybe two now, do data mining. You can get it down to the granular, to the street, to the neighborhood, where you're at to see if your business will survive in that neighborhood. I would love to tell you more stories. I'm going to give you one more. Gail Bordy, he was my second job. My first job, I had a paper out. It's really difficult. But most young people don't know what newspaper routes are. But anyway, I worked hard as a young man, 8 years old and on. Gail Gordy, I was riding my bicycle by, and I was probably 14. Well, 14. And he said, hey, come here. He had a car wash. He said, you want to work for me? And I said, well, I don't know. How much? What do I have to do? He said, I'll pay you this much money, which was a good amount. Minimum wage. It's like, ooh, on fire. Ooh, yeah, I'll do that. And you get to keep your tips. And I said, oh, man, I thought I died and gone to heaven. And it was right next to a Taco Bell that just opened. So I go back to work and get a meat. And I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. So he had this old junky car wash. It was old. Like, I mean, oh, you know what I'm talking about. There's one of these you pull in and the machine goes over you and goes back. And I watched it, and the machine goes over, it didn't even touch the car. He had it fixed so it just hardly went by. So when the car pulled up, we, the young guys, washed the car completely. We used power sprayers, we got it all clean. Then it would go through and kind of rinse off the soap. And then there'd be somebody at the end that he would check the car or she, and then see if it was clean. If it wasn't, they'd drive around the block. That car wash was so popular, the cars would back up 3 blocks to get into it. Only maybe 4. It wasn't on the main road. It was off the main road, like 2 blocks off. And you couldn't even see it from the highway. He made a lot of money. And how did he do it? It wasn't by location. It was by service and excellence. Make sure that you knew you didn't like what happened. If you didn't like how the car wash did it, you come back. You just come back. You put you in the third of the line and run you through it again. And he made happy. We got a lot of money from it. He paid a lot. So some people will tell you location's important. It's all about your relationships and your network. Your Chamber of Commerce is a great place to start networking. Go to pay for an event like breakfast on Fridays, first Friday breakfast, I think we call it. Pay for it as a non-member and see if it's a good fit for you. I guarantee it will help your business.
Or contact me and I'll come to you.
Yeah, well, I had to put that plug in because you've been plugging me. So.
Well, and I'll share too. I'm terribly uncomfortable networking. Like, I'm extremely uncomfortable doing it. It's a very important part of our job. And all of the Chamber of Commerce, that especially here in Fort Walton, have been incredibly welcoming and made it a lot easier. So for those of you that are like, either like, I'm not going to that is not, please go. It's definitely worthwhile.
I'm sure. When I first came to this area, I was extremely too pushy on networking because I'm from in New York, and I'm used to production, money, statistics. How can I get to the next level? Money. And people here are more about helping. So someone told me, if you really want to do well in that area, just talk about help. Don't ever talk about production or money. Don't be, like the hot shot with a 10X, no, because it was true. And I had to completely change my mind about how to network. I even had to be a little bit more, like distant because people were not as friendly, they were just like, instead of like, hey, like, ooh, Miami, no, it was very like a cultural. So, but it works, but still, it's a two different ways of going network.
Yeah, there is just different. All right. Any other questions before I wrap up here? So as a wrap up, I'm going to go back to when you're doing your practice, practice makes perfect. It's about how do you look, how do you feel. I don't feel comfortable in a tie, but I do look low. But I don't wear ties. So when you're looking and you're doing your spiel, hey, how do you look? Is your haircut? Does it look the way you want it to look? Is your suit, does it look okay? Or your coat? Make yourself comfortable before you go out. Make sure you've looked again before you go out or before you go out and give your spiel. And be ready because you never know when somebody's going to ask you. Thank you so much for coming today. Julie, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
month. Okay, so we're gonna just turn this into a little bit of a networking event now. So if anyone has any questions or wants to speak to Kevin on the side, and go over your pitch.
Yeah, we have a little office in the back. If you need some private.
Yeah, exactly. We also Beachworx and Brandon here is the owner of this location. But if you're interested in Beachworx, please feel free to speak to either him or myself. And then we also have Debbie Dodge here with the Fort Walton Beach Chamber. So if you're looking to get involved and find that help that you're looking for, please talk to her as well. So our online people, do we have any questions before we wrap up? Good.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello, and if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to say hi, Steve. It's good to see you again. This is Michelle. I don't have my camera on. I actually just had surgery earlier this week. But thank you to everyone for sharing your experience, and thankful to be able to look into this organization for help as I start transitioning from the Army and into a position in corporate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, thank you for everyone who joined us. And like I said, if you want to stick around and network a little bit, please do. We're here to answer any questions that you have. Yes, ma'am.
So it's the seed small business development. Is that I'm from Escambia County, and it's a tract to come over here. Is there one in Escambia?
But yeah, there's Escambia.
They have the SBDC in Escambia.
They do. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. All across the state.
but they're not as good as Kevin.
You sound fine.
Hold on, now wait a minute.
Yeah, how I'm networking.
Not as good, they're better. So,
They're close.
how about that?
And they do have it based on geographical area. So we get
Yeah.
area. But if you request, you could be in a different request if you're close enough.
Yeah, and look at all the news. So we're glad to do. I did most of my initial consultations to learn about you so I can get ready. I do those twice a day, drive across. Things not traffic is right now.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall, you're always welcome at the office. We'll get you in this question. And I say those things from Superman.
Yeah.
So, how many people here are actually familiar with Beachworx that are here?
No, this is
Not many people. First time? I must guess speak for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Right here. You just walked into the most flexible, affordable space. Anybody can do business anywhere on this coast.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Not even close. I've been in business for 30 years. I've been in the real estate business, own and operate lots of properties. No one's ever done for me what Beachworx does for everybody else. It's not one person, it's what the organization, the company, and the firm has become. It's flexible and affordable. You can have if someone's talking about starting a business, okay? But you're renting a private office, you don't have to sign a long-term lease. You can go month to month. You can sign up for a longer commitment and get a bigger discount. But you can actually come in and use the place by the hour, the day, the week, or the month. Memberships start month to month, and then they expand beyond that. But you don't have to do that. You got said you have the flexibility to come in. We also have a virtual platform for virtual offices, in which if you're not here all the time, you can still engage in the community, just like the folks on the other side of that online part, where you can ascertain some of the tools that we have to help elevate you, impact your relationships, to elevate your business. There's nothing like it, folks. Not even close. And the special sauce to the place, that's the carrot we dangle that bring people in the door. But what's really makes a difference is our affiliation with SBDC and a number of other organizations across this region. And there are three things that you're getting with the special sauce, okay? It's expert subject matter, workshops like this, having a lot of other people in the room around you on a day-to-day basis that you can lean on and coalesce with. You're leveling up with contacts. I can tell you, you go to a chamber, and it's nice. Some of it support chambers, economic development authorities and stuff, but it's not the same. You come there for a day and then you're gone. Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, we say people. We have a forum, a place where you can come and bring that together, be there on a daily basis or once a week, twice a week, making it work for you. But we level up the contacts. Our contacts that you make through Beachworx are unlike anything else you'll find anywhere. I'll give you your money back if it's not. And this is the truth. This is the stuff I've been doing this long. And then the mentorship, things like, Kevin's doing. It's not junior, senior mentorship, just that. It's pure mentorship. Every one of us have different experiences in life, and we bring that together, and what you get from it is incredible. The B2B, the business referrals that are happening in this little place here and in Destin, Florida right now are off the charts. There are people, service people they do hundreds or a few $1,000s, and their transactions, how they do it, happening all the time. Directly and indirectly of being there. But there are also people that have come in and they put forth the effort, and they're, say, a real estate agent, as an example. And they may be making tens of thousands of dollars as a direct or indirect part of why they come to Beachworx. And I'll be also honest with you, there are people that have come in there and created career opportunities in the place. There's nothing like it. But what you get out of it, it's not because of one person. It's about what the whole organization is about. And the value add proposition that we're selling is success. It's not our success, it's your success. When you walk in these doors and you talk to Brandon, or you come to Dustin, you talk to Julie, the question is, first thing is welcome, like tonight. But the second thing is not, hey, like Kevin said, us telling you all about us and what we need. The first question is, what do you need? What do you need? And the nice thing about Beachworx is that we can take some different plans, or you go online and figure out what you want, or you talk to us, but we can take those plans and bring something together and customize it to fit your need, tailor it to fit your need. You can grow up or down in the organization with as little as 30 days notice. You can cancel. You walk away before 30 days, you lose a month deposit, right? If you're on a member month membership, your hour day week, there is no thought. It's just a little higher unit cost. But there's no reason why you don't dip your toe. And like I tell people all the time, if you don't put forth any effort, don't expect anything back. If you put forth some effort, you're going to get back exponentially what you put in by being in these walls, in these rooms. I can tell you, we've been doing this now for 6 years, 7.5 years since we created the concept. But we have, as an organization, as a group, collection of people, made incredible strides. And I welcome you guys to, whether it's in Fort Walton Beach or in Destin or in other parts. We're going to be out in Escambia too, okay? But if you haven't came here tonight, come back again. If it doesn't work a few times or you try it for a month or two, no harm, no foul. Go do your thing. It's no big deal. But if you don't come back or you don't try, you got no one to blame but yourself. You got to own what happens to you in life. If you want something, go make it happen. Simple. That's right. You got no one else but yourself. Thanks.